Hey guys, what's going on? This is Sabio, Cavion Sabio, with vlog episode number 25 of my vlog. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's Monday, it's October 19th, and yeah, I have not recorded daily like I used to. I've been focused on a few other things, and that's kind of held my attention and my focus a little more than the vlogs. I do like doing the vlogs, but after the past, like, let's say a week and a half, I have definitely felt a lot better than I have in a while, and that's taken priority over me filming. So I think for this vlog episode, I want to talk about, I guess, prioritizing, right? So when prioritizing, for me, for my goals, it it's weird. I've said this before in previous episodes. I kind of think in like an ass backwards type of way, or maybe not an ass backwards type of way, but I kind of think of I think of the follow up after. I think of the follow up before I think of the like the initial thing, So, for example, if I'm creating a song, right? If I'm writing a song, producing it and everything like I usually do, and I see like there's potential in the song, like for it to be like there be like a music video or something like that, not just a lyric video, I will start planning how the music video is going to go and how it's going to look, visually representing the song before the song is fully recorded. I might have the lyrics written out. I might have practiced how I'm going to vocalize everything, like the melody, rhythm, things like that, as far as my vocals, and have the production about 80% done, 80 to 85% done. And before I actually get to recording my vocals and figuring out where to do overdubs or double up certain vocal pieces in the song, I'll have the music video kind of already worked out in my head, and I'll already start creating the visuals or creating the video itself before the song's finished. Like I have about, like I've said this before, I think I have about a year's worth of singles to release, or that I find are strong enough to release. I've recorded rough vocals for a few of them. One of them is ready to go, like ready to get mixed and mastered and distributed, released. But for basically all of those songs that I've written, for the next year's worth of material, I already have the album artwork done. I've done the album artwork myself. I already have the merchandise done for it. I've already I've already designed the album artwork and the merch to work like to coincide. So like the specific font for a song that I'm going to release, I've already created the transparent background to slap it onto a shirt or a hoodie or something like that. Or maybe just the album artwork itself looks good enough to be a shirt rather than just the font. What else? I've kind of figured out, long story short, I do things kind of in a reverse order, because the way that I think of it is, when you have a vision for something, right? And you want to make sure that everything is prepared for that vision to be, realized or materialized, or however you want to call it. You you want to make sure you have, all your ducks in a row, for lack of a better term. So that's what I've done for a lot of my songs. For just about all of them. Like, I can name a few where the album artwork is not done yet because I have not found the right visual, the right photo to represent the song itself. I haven't figured that out yet, and that's fine. I don't need to right now because more or less I've got about, like, song wise, I've got 12 songs, that I find are strong enough for me to record, mix, and master and release. Visuals, like the album artwork and merch and stuff, I've got about, I'd say about seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I'm missing one. Yeah, like 6 or 7. So that's about half the year, which gives me time once I do release and record. Record and release these songs. Those 6 months gives me time to work on the visuals for the next 6 months. And I've said this in a previous video. You have to have a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, 1-year plan, 3-year plan, and 5-year plan. It's not just with music. That's just with everything. Anything that actually stands to, create profit or to create products for that, for that visuals, for that visualization. You need to have those goals kind of set out, But the end goal is to create a sustainable income from this, become a paid musician, and like on a real, I don't know if it's like, I don't want to say like a real scale because I have been a paid musician for the past 4 years, like right now. I'm thankfully still employed during this pandemic, and all I'm doing is playing guitar for a couple of hours a week, and still get paid my usual hours and things like that. So it's definitely a blessing. I'm definitely thankful and grateful for it. But yeah, it's not exactly what I want to do, and it's not to say I'm unappreciative of the fact that I'm basically laying back and chilling, or not even, I shouldn't say laying back and chilling. I'm very appreciative of the fact that I can spend so much time fine-tuning and preparing for my 6-figure income that I plan on having, from my music career solely. I'm appreciative of the fact that the job I have now gives me that kind of full range of flexibility, But at the end of the day, it's not exactly what I want to do. And I've definitely contemplated this, like, not if, but as money is going to be flowing in, as that income is going to start growing, and I'll start making like, $5,000-$10,000 a month from my music, which is possible. I mean, if Russ, as a independent artist, can make $1 million a month from his extremely large catalog of songs, his plethora of products, I'm pretty sure I can make $10,000 a month on about a year's worth of material. And it's not just going to be music. I'm a creative in different ways, so all that's going to play a factor. But as that starts to grow and I start to get that $5,000-$10,000 a month from my fans, from those true fans that I'm going to be, finding, I might still, do my job that I'm doing now, because more often than not, the stuff that I need to do in order to get to that $5,000, $10,000 a month is either already waiting to be, distributed, or it is I've set it up. I've set it up in a way that it will require very minimal work, little to no maintenance, because of the way that I've, spent the last 2, 3 years uh, accumulating, all that stuff. And because of that, I've realized that I have my priorities I have my priorities straight. I know what I need to do, and I have been working at it. But this past week and a half, which is kind of something that just kind of triggered in my brain, kind of triggered in my head, but in a good way, not a bad trigger, but a good trigger, where I just got to this point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm too. I mean, I always knew that I was too stressed out, but I'm like, no, I have to take a step back, and that's where the whole priorities things comes into play, because even though I have had and will have my priorities straight as far as my business is concerned, because my music is my business, um, I was watching something on Instagram, I think yesterday. It was Russ on like a Discord or a Twitch channel, and he was saying how each song is like a salesperson. He's the business. That's Russ is his business, his brand, and his songs are his salespeople, his sales reps. And some sales reps, some songs are going to be doing better than others, and that's kind of just what happens in a company in general, right? So me as a business person thinking about my songs, I know there are some that are going to do better than others, but it does not stop the other salespeople from being important, because it needs to be a whole kind of, a whole team kind of thing. And all of that is figured out. Like, the priorities for that are figured out, and it's fine. It's good. But I've been neglecting myself on an internal level, Externally, I've got the map figured out for at least the next year, possibly 2 years. Like, the way I'm thinking of it, yeah, the next year to 2 years, like, I've got I've got the map is there, I know exactly where I gotta go, or more or less I know where I gotta go. But I was neglecting myself internally, and it's one of those things where you hear people say, like, maybe one of those inspirational Facebook pages or Instagram profiles, where it's just like your work is basically saying how you're working towards all these materialistic things, or this level of success, and it's one of those where you have that mentality: once I get this, then I can feel that, and it's a good and a bad thing, because depending on your perspective, excuse me, my burps making their classic feature appearance in my videos. But depending on the perspective, it can be a good thing and a bad thing, because when you have a vision, right? When you have a goal in mind, it's good to have that mentality because, like for me, I just went to the comic book store Saturday, right? And I was looking at all these statues, like comic books, statues of comic book characters, all these little Funko Pop things and all like that, and like Gundams and all like that. And I love that stuff. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that. So I'm looking at the statues. I'm like, I'm gonna have that statue on my wall, on my shelf. I'm gonna have that statue. I'm gonna have like this series of Funko Pops, and I'm going to have that Gundam. Like I'm figuring it out, and I'm thinking to myself, me with my dream loft being a goal of mine, and I'm thinking that's going to be that's a 5 year goal. Getting my dream loft is a 5 year goal. That is very doable in the next 5 years for me. I already know that, and I believe that. I not only do I know that, but I believe that. So, that's good to have, to have that goal in mind because I'm thinking when I get this loft, then I can I can feel like I have this space that I can finally fill with all the stuff that I've always wanted, and that's good. But the bad part about that is there's some feelings that uh, an achievable goal, like a materialistic goal or a goal of having something, just won't fill. It's like that feeling won't go away because you got something. So I've been finally assessing, I guess you could say, or or no, I've been finally accessing that internal feeling and realizing like it's the reverse order. Like it's completely the reverse order. So when I feel this kind of it's the way I've always been. I guess I've just been putting myself on a back burner. I've been putting myself second to a lot of things, to a lot of people, for a lot of people, because with so many crazy things going on in this world, I've I have felt over the years that I'm gonna be okay. Like my music is always gonna be there. I'm a man of my faith, so it's not like the divine higher self is going anywhere either. But I know that these people are going through stuff right now, so I need to I'm still gonna work on my stuff, but I need to kind of put my stuff a bit later on and kind of focus on what's going on here and now. So like for example, the hashtag #EndSARS thing going on in Nigeria, like that's something that has gotten my attention, and I've, shared and posted and things like that. My standing up against that, or standing up against SARS, standing up for those who want to end SARS, right? I'm not going to go into details. I would just suggest you look it up. Hashtag end, like beginning end, so end, capital SARS. Look it up. But like though I'm changing up my I guess you could say my narrative. I've kind of been getting more into that. I'm the star of my own movie type of thing, and that's something that this guy Aaron Doughty, he's got his own YouTube channel that talks about that. He's a very I don't know if you could should say spiritual person, but he talks about spiritual awakening and stuff like that. He's really chill. He's really cool. I feel like him and I would be really good friends, like if we chilled or something. I don't know. But the internal work that I need to do is more important, you know. And though I still stand, for those who are, being oppressed against, and I'm here to offer as any help that I can as best I can. I have to prioritize how I feel, and not in a selfish way, because a lot of people a lot of people who don't want to, who don't have your best interests at heart, a lot of people who they themselves are miserable, they don't want you to do that. They want to tell you that you're selfish for that. That's what they've told me for years. And for years, I believed them because they kind of forced it down my throat, just like, no, you're selfish if you don't, sacrifice everything, blah, 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 blah. And now it's been a while. It has been a while. But I have truly felt in the past week and a half more like myself than I have in like the past 10 years. Seriously. And it's been a very good process. And I was talking to a friend about this maybe about a month ago or a few weeks ago. And it's like there's this level of healing that I had needed to, really focus my attention on. And it's kind of been weird because I thought for a while I was just like, this is gonna be like a very difficult thing, and difficult in terms of I'm going to be having to go through all this work, put in all this effort, things like that. And it's not that I have been putting in the work and the effort, but I was watching something last week, or no, maybe a week and in the past week and a half, in this past week and a half of my, getting back to myself. And I was watching this video, this kind of documentary on like Taoism / Taoism. I think they're both the same, I don't know. And kind of understanding that it's one of those where you really just have to go with the flow. And there are some things that I was listening to and watching. It was like a YouTube video. And it brought me back to like when I was like a teenager. I was about maybe 15, maybe 14, 15, something like that. And I remember that time was very like that time and this time are kind of very similar for me, because at that time I had started to really spend time with myself, I had definitely I had gotten out of kind of junior high and going into high school and really feeling like this was like things were different, and I started to really just kind of I don't want to say retreat into myself. I just really got, more in tune with myself, I used to walk through Central Park. I live in New York, in case you didn't know, but I would walk through Central Park and just kind of walk and just chill and enjoy nature. I've always enjoyed nature. I've always been like very, very at one with nature. It's always been, kind of my peaceful place to be. And considering, I was born and raised in the concrete jungle, to actually be in an actual natural environment is very good, for me. So I did that, and I did that for about a year or two. I really kind of spent more time with myself. I mean, I had friends, friends outside of my school and stuff like that, and it's not like I didn't have anybody that was around, but I would really take time for myself and kind of just do my own thing. And about 15 going on 16, like maybe like, because my birthday's in June, so I'm a summer baby. Cancer, in case any of you are like astrological people, astrological. But yeah, I spent I spent like I said, 14, 15, kind of really being more in tune with myself and enjoying my own space, my own company, and just being in the present moment. And around 15 going on 16, like that summer of 2006, I want to say. Yeah, yeah, I turned 16, so yeah, so like that year 2006, spring and such, I started to meet more people outside of my school, hang around with those people more, and kind of have like a group of of friends, a good circle of friends. And back then, us being teenagers, or as teenagers may or may not normally do, people were, doing stuff. We were, as a group, it sounded like we were the most saintly people, because we definitely weren't at all. But it was a good group of people. Everyone kind of was like accepting of each other. It wasn't like a judgmental kind of thing, and it was fun. And from about that time of 2006 until about 2010, I became very I became very popular, amongst the people outside of my school. It's kind of weird. Like I kind of retreated into myself for about a year or so, and then it was like a outward attraction of that, you know. And then we went to parties and had a good time, and stories, man. Like one time we one time like we were all at this really big party, like really huge party, like on Wall Street or something like that. And I think it might have been Gold Street. I don't even remember. But it was a big party, and the cops got called. Someone called the cops on us, and this house was big. Like honestly, I could see that being like my like that's in the running for like dream apartments, dream lofts to kind of look at. I don't want to say it's like a loft-ish kind of thing, but it's definitely big space. And cops came, and there was no way out except through the front door, which the cops were standing in front of. And our friend, who our friend whose family member was a diplomat, gave him, like him being a relative, he had diplomatic immunity. So basically, if he wasn't there, we would all have been screwed. So all of us, and there was about 50 people maybe at that party, we all got off scot-free because our friend had diplomatic immunity. So, so we've definitely had our fair share of good times. We've definitely had our crazy run-ins with Johnny Law. But yeah, I say all that to say, me prioritizing myself and focusing on my internal work the way I used to when I was a teenager, or the way I did before when I was a teenager, it definitely made a big difference then. And considering that back then, when I was a teenager, I wasn't really focused on, what my life would be like after, after my teens. I guess my focus was more so about turning 18 and 21, rather than the next, 18 and 21 years of my life, which I'm still in. I'm still in the 18 years. Like if we want to start from then, 15 plus 15 is 30, and I'm 30 years old now. So I'd have to wait another 3 years to even think about, that. But that was just some weird math I did. But yeah. the the mentality that I have now, because I mean, I've always had a passion for my music, but I've never worked this hard for my music. Over the past 10 years, I've never worked this hard for my music. It was kind of just one of those. I love it. I'm going to keep doing it. You know, uh, you know that mentality that we have when we're young. Just we'll figure it out and we'll accomplish our dreams. We're just gonna do what we love. You know, it was no real plan set in motion. But with my mentality of having a plan, right? With my mentality of getting things done. Now that I have things kind of set up, and it's going to be like a domino effect, you know. With that being, the case, now that I'm kind of putting the two pieces together, the analytical side that I've had over the past 5-10 years for my music, you know, signing up to a PRO, or signing up with a PRO, excuse me, signing up to Nielsen SoundScan and Sound Exchange. I've done those things, you know, copywriting my music, making sure I create my own music myself. All of that stuff has been created and prepared for. Like it's ready to go. All like the entire business side of things, I've spent the last 5 years, 4 to 5 years, getting prepared because I didn't want to be someone like a Little Nas X where I create a song and you know put in the work and it blows up, but then I have no idea about you know publishing, royalties, uh, licensing, things like that. I want to make sure I had that part understood. I don't want to say down packed, but I want to make sure I had that stuff understood and prepared. So when everything happens the way I want it to, I'm not like I'm not gonna be caught dangling in the wind, if you will. So yeah, my priorities have been set. My priorities have been rearranged because for all that work that I have been putting in, like I have been learning the marketing and the advertising stuff, but I've realized that that stuff, while it's good, it's not it's not the highest priority for me. My highest priority right now is to make sure my vocals are correct, make sure I don't need to use auto tune for all of my songs, which I don't. It's like I've been getting in my own way with my own singing, and I am taking this time out now to really fix that, really just fix that, and I'm liking it. I like where I'm going with it. It's making I'm making a lot of progress. So yeah, it's been a very good week and a half, and this trajectory that I'm on is a lot less stressful and a lot more rewarding, you know? I realize for the things that I have learned for the marketing stuff, it's good. It's definitely stuff I didn't know, definitely stuff I will want to know in the future. But it's also something that's going to take time. And it's not that I don't have that time, it's just that I don't want to spend my time completely focused on that, you know? I want to be able to know enough so that way I can figure out how to tweak things the way that I need to. But I think it's best for me to have people who have the experience, the years of experience, to kind of get that ball rolling for me because in the long run, it's going to save me a lot more money. You know, it's just like any musician. If you're a singer songwriter, but you don't know how to play the guitar, and you have music that you want to create, and you have a song that you've created, but you don't have, the production stuff down and everything like that, or the guitar skills down, are you going to spend some time trying to learn it quickly and try to apply it, as you learn it? Or are you going to go to someone and have them do it for you, you know? So it's the same thing. But if you're a singer-songwriter and you want to still be able to understand where that producer is coming from, or that guitarist or musician is coming from, you might want to learn a couple of things, maybe like, all right, can we change up the key? We might be in B minor right now, but can we change it to E minor? See how that sounds. Can we change the progression? Could we have it be a little more staccato? Things like that. Just little things. You might not be able to explain it in totality, but if you're able to communicate, on a surface level what you want to those people who have those years of experience, that's a lot better. And that's kind of the realization that I've come to over the past couple of weeks, So I think it's best for me to understand what I'm looking for, like understand what counts as, a good ROI, return on investment, or ROAS, which is return on ad spend. It's best for me to understand it rather than trying to learn it and apply it myself without any guidance. So yeah, these are things that I'm working on, and all that's good because that's a priority. Because I'm not going to be able to release my music and suddenly like blow up. I have to be able to put that, put that marketing out there so that way I can actually get people's attention. But if my product is not ready, if I am not ready to create my product and to train my quote unquote sales people, then knowing the marketing is not going to make a difference. I mean, it's not that it's not, but it's going to make it more difficult because I was too focused on something that I can have somebody else do. And coming from a person who has spent a lot of time, spent a good amount of years, very stubborn, because I wanted to be able to do as much by myself as I could, which ended up being a good thing. I've been able to produce my own music and learn all these things and figure this out on my own. I've been able to figure this stuff out on my own that is under the umbrella of what I can do, based off of my passion. If I'm passionate about music, I want to be able to learn how to play the guitar. I'm looking at my guitars right off screen, so that's why I'm looking over here. If I want to be able to be passionate about my music, I want to be able to, know music theory, at least enough music theory, so that way I can, communicate with another musician what I want to hear them play. My passion for music means that I also need to know how to produce, how to produce my music, make sure that I can create what it is that I want instead of relying on somebody else. Because if I was truly passionate about music, then that means I would have to, really sit down and learn as many aspects about music that I need to succeed. Marketing, it's not my passion. Some people are very passionate about marketing. They love it. They love to be able to, plug in the right things for people and put this here, put that there, so on and so forth. Do what they got to do. But that's not me. Those people could probably market water to fish. They might be that good. They might be able to tell somebody in the desert, you need more sand. And they might be so good at their job that they can do that. That's just not me. So, going back to the way I started this video, I'm learning now to not do things in a reverse order, because I have so many things set up and prepared and ready to implement. Because I've been doing things in a reverse order as far as preparation is concerned, I said, okay, if I want, and I've said this in a previous video, if I want my dream loft apartment, how much is that going to cost? Okay, it's going to cost that much. Let's say the only apartment I've actually looked at, it was like a condo loft in Brooklyn. It's about $3-4 million, which isn't that much. It's not that expensive. But that's because of the mentality that I have, knowing that the financial success that other musicians have had, independent musicians like a Russ, I don't know if I'm going to be making $1 million a month off the bat. Probably not off the bat, but there's the potential to make $1 million a month because I'm an independent artist. But Dream Loft, let's just say that one that I looked at, that condo loft, $3-4 million. That's doable, especially on a 5-year plan. $3-4 million. So that means, okay, how much money will I have to make in order to afford that loft, right? Or not even that. What can I do in order to create a steady income to afford that loft? Okay, figure that number out. All right, so that means, what are the different ways for me to do that? Merch is one, music sales are another. What else? Like bundle, excuse me, bundle releases. Like Justin Bieber, I think, did that recently, where he said with his release, people can win concert tickets or merch or posters or something like that. I don't know, but those type of things, and it's working backwards to try and figure out, if I'm going to get there, what do I need to do over the course of this amount of time in order to do that. Break it down from it's like math. Breaking it down to its lowest common denominator, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And I've done that, and that's good. But now that's not what I need to do. Now what I need to do, or now what I'm doing, is saying, that's ready, that's prepared, that's finna do all these amazing things. Now I need to prepare myself for when that starts. And that's what this week and a half has been. Not purposefully, kind of just like letting it go, going with the flow, that whole nature thing. And it has been an amazing week and a half. And I think the best part about it, for me, the best part about it, is the fact that this week and a half has had, some, I'm not going to say struggles, but it's had some obstacles. But I've learned to not react to it as much, you know? And I can see that that pisses some people off. But I also realize that people aren't stupid. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. We all know what they're doing. And the fact that I've been able to keep a calm head, more or less, I'd say about 85, 90%, keep a calm head, cool demeanor, very chill. It's really finally clicked. It's finally gotten through, you know, finally gotten it through my head. And I'm excited. I'm very chill, but I'm also very excited because I know that this kind of thing is like a muscle. And just like, you know, me going to the gym, which I actually am going to leave for in about an hour. This has been a great, just a great time for me. And I feel myself getting stronger. I feel myself getting better. I feel myself getting more powerful in this quickly, very quickly actually, as time has been progressing. And it is awesome. Now I know this is a very long video, the longest one I think I've ever recorded, but that was for a reason. And that reason is I wanted to at least have 25 episodes, right? You know, so that way it's like a good break off point, because this needs my full attention. And if I feel like I'm gonna do a video, then I'll do one, but it's gonna be out of feeling, not out of obligation. And not even obligation, I shouldn't even say obligation. It's me it's me working more so off of my feeling, and in a present moment of just like, if I'm presently like, you know what, maybe I should do an episode, then I will. But I don't want it to be where it's like I'm thinking, oh, you know what, I have to do an episode today because blah 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 blah, because I'm putting unnecessary pressure on myself, and I don't need to do that. And that's one of the things that I've learned over this last week and a half. I have unnecessarily put way too much pressure on myself over the past several years. And I'm not doing that anymore, you know. My consistency is going to be in things that come easier to me, that come more easily, more naturally, more readily to me. And as I'm thinking about it right now, I'm feeling good. I really am. So, this very long-winded video, which is almost an hour long, is just kind of a recap of things that I've been feeling, what I've been going through, so on and so forth. And yeah, so I hope you guys are doing well. Again, today's Monday, which is my favorite day at the gym. I know how people in general don't like Mondays. I love Mondays. Like, that's my favorite day at the gym. Get to work on my delts, my chest, my arms. So it's all this, baby. All this. Yeah. I hate leg day. I hate leg day. And it's not because of the exercises or anything like that, you know. It kind of goes back to that I've been way too hard on myself. Even in my movements, I've been so rigid, and it sucks. But this last week and a half has gotten me back into that flow of movement, you know. So I think that's why I hate leg day, because it's just like I walk a lot. So I'm just like, I don't want to work on my legs. I worked on my legs getting here. I did cardio. Why should I have to work on my legs specifically? But I know I have to. But yeah, Monday, my favorite day at the gym. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in for this long. I know that there are people who have been tuning into my vlogs a lot, so I'm very thankful. They will be. I'm not stopping my vlogs. I'm just gonna not be posting them as, as often. Again, realizing that my priority needs to be internal, not external. And once I've mastered and gotten the habit of my internal, my external is going to be a lot more consistent, a lot more creative, just a lot better for both me and you guys who, engage in my content. So yeah, you guys take care. I'm heading off to the gym in a bit. Gotta hop in the shower and all like that. No, you can't come with me. Sorry. Yeah. See you guys later.